Hey guys, and welcome to another tutorial by Tutorial Grid. I am Cherokee Turner, your host, and on this episode we are going to be creating some confetti, which is something that looks very similar to this, but we will get into that in just 1 second. But first, why don't you head on over to avidproductions479.com and go to our tutorial grid tab under project downloads and download the project so you know what we're doing. So this consists of two different particles that we'll be using, a rectangle and a square confetti particle. That does have some reflectivity, or we will also be teaching you how to build the confetti itself. So you can either download it or get our confetti or use it for your own purposes. Also, make sure to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/avidproductions479. You can keep in touch with us here. Obviously, it was the holiday season recently, Christmas and all that stuff. And this is obviously a New Year's tutorial for all the confetti, or you can make a confetti gun and shoot it at your friends in After Effects, which is probably going to be more fun than what we're going to be doing. Also, we have a new thing on our tutorial grid YouTube. You can now support us. So if you like what you see, you like seeing a lot of tutorials, we're trying to push out as many as we can, as quickly as we can, and stuff that you guys want to see. Go ahead and hit our support button, and you can actually donate to us. And the more money we get donated, obviously the more tutorials we can do, because trust me guys, this stuff isn't free. If you've done tutorials before, you know they don't take, a few minutes and they're done. There's a few days of work that goes into it to figure out all this stuff. And we really want to keep you guys informed with everything we do. That way we can teach you everything that we know, and get you guys squared away that way. So if you can support us, donate to the cause. If not, that's cool. But anyway, so we are in After Effects. This is something that we'll be creating. We're just going to be creating the confetti. This is just a Happy New Year video because it's getting really close to New Year. So we've got a bunch of confetti, but what we're going to be creating is something that looks like this. All right, but that's what we'll be creating. So again, we've got a lot of confetti. We've got blue, gold, we've got some red, some silver on the side here. But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. So let's jump on right into this. So first thing we're going to do is go up into our composition, go to new composition. I'm going to create mine 23.976, and we're going to do 1920 by 1080 at 24 frames per second, so 23.976. And let's just create a 10-second composition here and hit OK. All right, first off, what we're going to do is we're going to create a background layer. So just go Layer, New, Solid. Let's go ahead and create a white background layer here. I'll just call this background. Hit OK. And we're also going to go to Layer, New, Solid, and create a black solid. And we'll just call this Confetti Gun. This is a fairly simple thing to do. And yeah, it's very, very, very easy to create. So what we're going to do is go into the effects and presets and type in Particular and drag that down. If you do not have Trapcode Particular, you can download it at redgiant.com, and you can get a free trial version of it there, or you can buy it. Cool. So now let's go ahead and turn off a background layer for now. But if you don't know what Particular is, it just basically creates a bunch of particles. It's probably the most powerful particle generator that After Effects has to offer, and it is a third-party plugin. So yeah, we just got a bunch of particles here. If you press space bar, it'll do a RAM preview and you'll see a bunch of stuff. Okay. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to set up this particle layer to try to make it look like a gun. So what we're going to do is I want it to shoot out go from the left to the right. So how I'm going to set this up is I'm going to go into emitter. I'm going to go to direction. I'm going to go to uniform. I'm going to go to directional. So now that I have this set up as directional, it's actually being shot at me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on my Y rotation, and I'm going to turn this over to 90 degrees or wherever you want it to direct to. You can kind of change the X rotation, Y rotation, and Z rotation to get it to shoot where you want it to go. But mine's going to go from left to right. So now we've got particles being shot out like crazy. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my velocity, and my velocity is 100. So I'm just going to push it back over here, and let's maybe push it a little further out because I want these things to go up. I'm going to change mine to about 300. So now they're going to go a lot faster. Okay, but I don't like the fact that it's being streamed. So it's not like a fire, like a cannon fire. It's just kind of like it's water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and under particles per second, I'm just going to go ahead and turn this down to 0. So at about 1 second, I'm going to hit my stopwatch, and I'm going to go down over here to 112 frames, and I'm just going to crank this up to, let's say, 1300. Okay. So now I have a keyframe from here to here. So it shoots out over the span of this many frames, 1,300 particles. Now I'll go ahead and move 1 frame afterwards, and I'm just going to go ahead and select our 1,300 particles, and I will just hit 0. That way it shuts it off. So we've just got one big fire of particles. So it just shoots out and then done. And if we wanted to, we can make this a little bit quicker, so it's just a bigger spurt. And if you want to do that, just go into your particles and just speed that particle up so it's just one bigger burst. Okay. You can also, if you don't like the fact that there's not as many particles, you can push this up to as many particles as you want. Actually, yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So now I'm going to go ahead and push mine up to 3480 under my particles. So now I just have them shooting out over a few frames here. Okay. So the beginning of it, there's nothing. And then a few frames in, boom, there's particles. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to where they start firing out, and I'm going to position this. So you can either drag this position from the middle, or you can drag it using your position XY. So I'm going to go ahead and push mine down here into the left-hand corner. And now I don't really like the fact that it's going directly from left to right. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of angle this a little bit more. Push that back to 90, and I'm just going to kind of mess around with my positions here to where they kind of get to where I want them to be here. There we go. So just kind of play around with the tools to where they do what you want to do. Okay, so now we've got it going up and to the right. So I don't want it just to shoot once. I want it to shoot it a couple of times. So I'm going to go ahead and copy those frames. So hit Control C, select them and hit Control C. And let's go ahead and move a couple frames over and hit Control V. And that's going to fire it again. So I'm going to go boom, boom, and fire those particles. Okay. And let's do one more for good luck. So we'll go here to the 3-second mark and hit Control V again. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is our particles are supposed to have a little bit of gravity because they're technically not very, they're paper. I mean, it's confetti. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our physics and go to gravity and just turn this gravity up a little bit. So you're going to turn it to about 20. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, now they kind of work. Let's see here. If you don't like, and we don't want our particles to end either. So see how they kind of disappear? You'll want to go to our particle layer and just turn up the lives per second to where it's just as long as our composition. So we have a 10-second composition. So let's just go ahead and click on our 3 here and just type in 10. That way they stay on the entire time. Okay. So boom, boom, boom. And we've got our particles kind of flowing down here just a little bit. And we can actually play around with these settings quite a bit. We can actually turn up the gravity quite some and kind of angle our cannon a little bit better. Let's go back up into our cannon and just kind of aim this more up. Okay. So now that we have them facing up, let's go ahead and add some more gravity here just so we get that more realistic look. So I have my gravity at 30. All right, so we've got our particles shooting out and they've got gravity and they're falling to the ground. So that's exactly what we want it to do. But our particle isn't as it should be. So if you downloaded the project, what you're going to want to do is we've got these confetti pings that you can download, and you can, which is basically just a moving PNG image. So we've got 2 of them here. So what you're going to want to do is go to File, Import, Multiple Files, and let's just go ahead and let's do the rectangular confetti. So we want to go ahead and make sure the PNG sequence is selected and hit Import. So now we have our confetti. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and drag that down to the bottom and go ahead and select our little eyedropper here, or our eyeball here, and just go ahead and turn that off because we technically do not need to see it. So go into our confetti gun, but if you are wanting to see what this looks like and kind of scrub through it, that's kind of what it looks like. It's just a little 4-second looping confetti. Okay, so go ahead and go into our confetti gun particle look and go into the particle setting, and where it says sphere, go down to sprite. Actually, go down to sprite colorize, because we want these to be a lot of different colors, and go to texture, and where it says layer none, just hit that rectangular confetti. Okay, so now if you play it back, it's going to shoot all of our confetti. You can turn on the background here so you can kind of see what that confetti looks like. But we've got a problem. Our confetti is all being shot and they all look exactly the same, and all confetti is all very, very, very different. So under time sampling, you're going to go to current time and do random loop. So now we have a bunch of different particles looping with our project. Okay, so we've got our confetti and it's shooting up and it looks awesome. We've got a bunch of particles here, and that's cool. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of mess around with the way our particle looks. Okay, so let's go to size and let's just turn some of the sizes up. And you can do as much as you want. You can make them all the exact same size, or you can kind of make it a little bit more random, because all confetti is technically very different shaped. So you can kind of mess around with the size random a little bit and get that look that you're wanting to go with. I think that's going to be just fine. Okay, so we'll just kind of play that back a little bit. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to set color, and where it says at birth, you're going to go from gradient. So random from gradient. So select that. And where it says color over life, go ahead and select this, and we're going to select our colors. So I want to select one gradient ramp at a time. So I like the blue. So let's go ahead and select our blue confetti. Okay. So to do that, we will just select another blue here. So go hit OK. So now we've got a bunch of blue confetti, and it's going over a random gradient. And if you want, you can also throw some silver in there. So let's just, let's just do a white. Let's do a complete white. So it goes from the random gradients, and we just have a bunch of different colored confetti in there, looking real good. All right. Now, since this is actually pretty much it for the tutorial. Now, if you notice, the confetti that you have downloaded, it has a very, very unique look to it. That is because we used a 3D plugin to make the confetti. Now, if you want to know how to make the confetti and give it that glittery kind of look, this is for you. So there are two ways to do this. First, we're going to do a more of a matte way, and we'll show you exactly what it looks like, and then we'll also do the reflective way. Now, this is going to require a 3D plugin called Element by Video Copilot. First, what we're going to do is to create our confetti. Let's go ahead and go into Composition, New Composition, and we're going to select Width and go 200 and Height 200. Okay? So now we've created just a random square. So the first way we're going to do is we're going to go to Layer, New, Solid. And we want it to be just a random color. So I'm going to select red, okay? And hit OK. So you can do this two different ways. You can do a rectangle, and you can kind of select the center here and hold down your mouse button and hit select or shift alternate control, and you can just make a square. Or you can go into the pen tool and you can create just a random shape with your pen tool, and you can create a mask like that to where it's a little bit more random. I like this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to animate this, because you can technically animate it with Particular, but it's not going to get that really kind of custom look. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select our 3D check mark here, and we're going to animate this over 4 seconds. So we'll just go ahead and push this to 4 seconds here, and I'm actually going to go back into my composition layer, go to composition settings, and I just want this to be 4 seconds. So I'll go ahead and hit 0.4 because I don't want this to be that long. I want it to loop for a very short period of time and go with that loop. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit R for rotation, and we're going to hit X, Y, Z stopwatch at the very beginning of our timeline. And we'll go to 1 second, and you can kind of play around with the settings here just a little bit and kind of give it some rotation. So it kind of rotates here, and let's move to 2 seconds and just give it a little bit more rotation. Okay, and let's go to 3 seconds, give it a little bit more rotation, and feel free to play around with this as much as you want. Because we do want to, this is your confetti, and it's going to be very custom. Okay, and now we'll go to the end of our composition here, and where it says 0, just hit 1, 1, 0, 1, hit 0 again, and hit 1, and then go to the alternate position here, where it says 214, 314, and 256, or your secondary degrees. Just click there and hit 0, 0, 0. Okay? So what that does is that makes it revolve from this 0 to this 1 position. So whenever we play it back, it goes and it doesn't try to flip itself backwards and do this in reverse. Rather, it goes completely through with the animation and it ends with the animation. Okay? So another thing that you can do to kind of give this more of a little bit more of a random look, you can kind of play with the keyframes here, and you can use like keyframe assistant. You can use easy ease, maybe give this a little bit more of an offset. Let's use easy ease here. And you can hit F9 for this. I'm not hitting F9 because it'll stop my recording. But yeah, you can just kind of give it a little bit more of a random rotation. And that's looking pretty good. Now, what we're going to do is one thing, if you notice, our confetti goes off screen here. So what we're going to have to do is hit P on our position and just push this back in Z space just a tad bit so our confetti always stays in our composition. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our confetti composition, and let's go ahead and alternate our confetti with our new confetti. So we have this from our project file. So what we're going to do is go into our project, and mine is composition 7. So we'll go ahead and drag this down, and you can rename this confetti. And I can't stress this enough. Be more organized than what I'm being right now. This is for tutorial purposes only, but yeah, it's great to be organized. So now that we have our confetti file underneath our background, you can push it on top and you can see our confetti file. Push it back. You can turn off the eyedropper tool, go back into our confetti gun under the effects controls, go to the particle, and where it says under texture, layer, confetti, we're just going to go ahead and hit confetti this time. And now we have our new confetti, which is this right here. Doesn't look as good, but it has more of that matte look. If you don't have the 3D plugins or anything like that to make the confetti, which is this is the first thing that we're doing. It gives it a little bit different look if you want it to be more like paper. So that's cool. And now for the next way you can make the confetti. So go to composition, new composition, comp 8. We'll just call this confetti reflections. Okay. Again, 200 by 200, hit OK. And we will go layer, new, solid, black, solid. Okay. Hit OK. And we will, under effects and presets, we will type element. Okay. Drag that on over and go to layer, new, solid. Let's just call it, let's do white solid here. Okay. Hit OK. Make sure it's 200 by 200. Pull that down underneath, and we're going to again create, let's just create a rectangle. So use our pen tool and just create a rectangle or any real shape that you want. And go to our black solid. Name this element. Okay. And with our element layer selected, go to custom layers, custom text and masks, go to path layer 1 and select our white solid 3, and we'll go into scene setup and hit extrude. Now we have a giant block. So we'll select our bevel 1 and under extrude, pull that all the way down. So now we don't have any extrusion. And then we'll go to our bevel size, and we'll just pull this down to almost nothing. You want to give it just a slight bevel because you want it, if it does go onto its side, you want it to be not completely thin, but you do want it to have that reflectivity, and you want it to be able to be seen. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is go on to our presets. Let's just put chrome on top of this. Because it's probably one of the easier ones to put color to. And we'll go into our environment. And you're going to want to have it a very reflective environment. So it's going to be indoors. Let's just use the studio and hit OK. And OK. So now we have a very reflective mesh here. And I'm going to change the reflectivity a little bit more intense because I want it to reflect a lot more. So now we have a lot more highlights there. Okay. And select OK. We're also going to go to our group 1 particle replicator and push this back in Z space. So it's about right in the middle, and go ahead and deselect our white solid 3. And now, again, we're going to animate this. So under replicator rotation, we'll go ahead and hit the stopwatch for X, Y, and Z. Zero it out on our frames here, and go to 1 second and just kind of mess around with the X, Y, and Z rotation. Again, go to 2 seconds. Rest of the rotation. And go to 3 seconds. That's the rotation. And go to the end, 4 seconds, and under 0, hit 1, 0, hit 1, 0, hit 1 under X, Y, Z. And again, go and under our degrees, go ahead and select those and hit 0. So now we have our confetti just kind of dancing around. We have a very reflective confetti now. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back into our composition. So go back into our composition here. And again, we are going to go into our project, and we're going to bring down our confetti reflection. We'll just put that right back underneath, and we'll do the same setup again. Go to confetti gun, effects, controls, and under texture, layer, confetti, we'll do confetti reflection. And boom, we have our confetti reflection right back. Okay. Now you can set this up very many ways. You can have it shooting up like I have. You can have it falling down from the sky. You can use wind. You can use all sorts of things if you want to. This is just a regular old confetti gun, but it's pretty cool. All right, so this is what we've got so far. We've got our confetti gun shooting. And it's blue and colorful, and it's shimmering. It looks very cool. Now, if you want to change the colors or add anything else to this, like say, I want to put in some, maybe, I don't know, some yellow, just go ahead and just copy this, hit Control D, move it over a smidgen, and go down to the particle layer, change the colors up a little bit. So I want this to be yellow now. And let's do maybe an orange. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and put that behind it because I like that blue. So now we've got confetti shooting, and we've got some yellow in there. We've got some white. We've got a bunch of different colors going on, and it's just a festive mess, and it's awesome. All right, but that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a very simple tutorial. We taught you a few ways how to create this confetti as well if you want to, as well as if you want to download it. It is available on avidproductions479.com. You can just download the confetti, be ready to go, or you can make it yourself if you want specialized controls and all that stuff. And just have more control over your confetti. It's cool. But again, I am Cherokee Turner. Make sure to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/avidproductions479. Also, you can support us now through our Tutorial Grid YouTube. Just hit the support button on our youtube.com/tutorial grid site. Hit the support button. Check us out. Leave us $1. Leave us $5. If you like the tutorials, keep us going. Because they do take a while to create, and we do take suggestions, and we don't take them lightly. We will do them. It just takes a little while. All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be safe out there, and Happy New Year. I will see you guys later.